we're going to look at doing an epoxy pour in the top of our project, and it's important to get the right size for the top of our project first. So I've gone to my bench plans, and if this is for another project, go ahead and look at the plans for the other project, and I'm looking at the final size. So I'm 17.5 deep by 22 3/4 left to right. So I got to remember those. I'm going to pop over here to VCarve. I'm going to create a new file, and I already forgot the dimensions, so I got to go back here. 17.5 tall, that'll be tall in there, 22 3/4. 22.75. The thickness is 0.75, and for this we're going to go material surface from the center and hit OK. So that's different than we've done in the past, because now the crosshairs are the center of our top. Everything is going to reference from the center of our top. That way we get our logo, whatever it is that we want, wherever, exactly where we want it. So I'm going to start out by doing two things. One is I'm going to do text first. So I'm just going to use my last name and show you how we make a pocket toolpath. And that won't take very long. And then I'm also going to show you how to import a picture, because you may want to import a logo, a band name, whatever you would like to do. So I'm going to come over here to text. And now this is important. We need kind of big, bold text. Real detailed stuff is okay if it's going to get bigger. But I'm also want you guys to be careful. I'll use Arial Black. I want you to be careful about how big you make this. Because you may want it to be a little bit more subtle. Oftentimes in design, less is more. So let's say this is my last name. What I like to do is put stuff in the bottom corners. I can also, let's say I find a Minnesota Vikings logo. Now here's the problem with the Minnesota Vikings logo is we get one color of epoxy. So if I take this Viking head right here, it's not going to make sense if it's just one color. Maybe I could do the outline and fill the whole thing in, but it's going to be a difficult logo to produce with just one color of epoxy, and we're not going to do multiple pours. You know, if we had unlimited time, we could do several different colors, but that would tie up the whole router for yourself for a couple days to do that. But we want to get something very simple. So if I'm going to go back to this Twins logo, this one would look fine if it was all one color. Now, some of you guys have a lake cabin, and I want to actually show you how to do this on a lake. So I'm going to go, let's go Leech Lake. And I'll go Leech Lake map. And I'm going to look for a map that is like this, where it's very contrast. There's a dark and then there's a blue. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to save this image, and you could do this with anything. If it's a Trojan head, if it's the lake that you live on, oh, and see this file type is a problem. So I'm going to click on this and see. When I click and go save image as, I get this WEBP file, and those never work. So I'm going to try to just copy this and paste it into here, and that actually worked. Now what I want to do is come over here to the bird, and this might get a little clunky, but I'm going to shrink it down to 2 colors. We're going to see, and now this is not working out great because we got all these other lines in here. So let's expand this out to be a little wider. In this one, this picture looks like it's just going to be difficult. There's not enough contrast there. So I'm going to use a fishing term, and I'm going to cut bait on this one. But let's go back to the internet, and let's look at our search parameters. Leech Lake outline. Maybe you have a more popular lake like Leech Lake that maybe we already have an outline of it. So like this one right here. Got to get back to the right page. Let's paste this in here. See if I can make it bigger. And then I could come back and trace this, and I'm going to shrink it again down to 2 colors and say save everything that's black, preview, and apply. Now I'll close this. I'll click on it, and I'm just going to move one of these aside. And it looks like there's going to be a lot of cleaning up to do. So this is going to be, again, difficult. So if you've got a lake like Leech Lake that has all these different fingers in it, you may have some troubles. I'm going to try one more time to get a bigger version of this, because often the bigger the better, but I don't think it's going to work. So if you have a real complicated lake like that, this is going to be hard. We can spend a bunch of time in VCarve tracing things, and it can work. So if you're really passionate about getting your lake, and we could try several different ones here, but we're going to go back and stick to the Minnesota Twins logo. Because this is going to be the easiest type of logo. So we want to pick something simple and easy. I'm going to zoom out of here, and I'm just going to get rid of that. Paste in the Twins logo. I'll leave it big for now. We can shrink it down later. But I'm going to copy this, and we're going to shrink it down to 2 colors. I'm going to keep everything that's red and everything that's blue. Preview, apply, close. I want to move this out of the way and get rid of this. So if you're a Twins fan, we'll probably not do the trademark down here. So we'll ungroup objects, delete that. And I don't mind if you want to do 2 different logos. This is your top. So this white space that we're looking at is the top of your project. And we can do this however we want. Again, if you are a huge Twins fan, you could put a big Twins logo right in the middle. That's okay, but I like smaller logos within reason. So now I'm going to click on my last name. I'm going to click on the Twins logo. And then we're going to write a toolpath for it called a pocket toolpath. I'll move this out of the way so we can see it. And we're likely going to use the 1/8 inch end mill. So I'll remove that and select a new one so you can see what we're doing, and I keep being in the way. If you don't have an 1/8 inch end mill, you probably will, but if you don't, we'll create a new one. So we'll come up here, we'll say add end mill. I'm going to change the name to 0.125. I'm just going to do this. 0.125 end mill. Okay. Tool type is end mill, inches, 0.125, that's 1/8 of an inch. We've got 2 flutes. We'll create the settings. That all actually looks pretty good. The diameter is 1/8 of an inch, so it's really small. This is in tool 3. We'll hit apply. Select. And then we're going to edit the passes. We want this to go 1/8 of an inch deep. We don't want it to go real deep, and actually we could go deeper. It was 1/4 inch. Let's go 0.2 inches. We'll split the difference. 2/10 of an inch deep. We're going to edit the passes and say let's do this in 1 pass, otherwise it's going to take forever. We're not going that deep, so we should be okay with 0.2. We got to ramp the plunge moves because there's no cutter on the bottom, and we can even just call it pocket 1. Ramp the plunge moves 1 inch. Calculate. So now you'll see all these lines, and I can preview all tool paths. And that makes sense. Now, just for instance, I'm going to come back up here and say I want to do the same pocket tool path, but I want to use a 1/4 inch end mill, which will cut faster. It's bigger. We'll see what it tells us. We'll do it in 1 pass because it's a little bigger. Calculate. Now I'm going to come here and I'm going to reset the preview. I'm only going to have it use the 0.25 one, and I'm going to say preview visible toolpaths, and you're going to see like the Swenson doesn't make sense anymore. And what happens is it can't fit into those little spaces. So if you are going to do something more detailed like a last name, we want to use that 1/8 inch end mill. If we're going to do something more like the Twins logo, you can see the Twins logo looks okay with the 1/4 inch end mill. So I'm going to come back up here, select my tool paths. I'm going to get rid of this, delete this. That's the one that I want, and I'm actually going to check this to see how long it's going to take. So with the 1/8 inch end mill, it's going to take 7 minutes to do that. That's not terrible. If I was using the 1/4 inch end mill, it'd be less than half of that time. But 7 minutes is okay, unless we got a whole bunch of people that want to do this, but 7 minutes should work out right. So now this is all saved. The tool paths are saved. What I'd like you guys to do is to come up here and say File, Save As. I'm going to call it Top KLS. And you could save it on your desktop for now. You could put it in your downloads. And this is what's going to get uploaded to the Canvas assignment called Top. And actually, you know what? We're not even going to do that. We are going to put this, I'm going to go to my front page here. There's an assignment called CNC File Drop. I want you guys will have an option to upload the file there. This is an assignment that's not worth anything. It doesn't count towards your final grade, but it's where we upload the files we want to get burned. So or cut out. So you'll upload it to here, and that's where I'll grab it. I'll review it quick. We'll put it on the flash drive, and then we'll cut it out.